Welcome back to another deep dive. Today we are getting into something that is, honestly, probably causing a lot of stress for you right now if you run a business or manage a brand.
Yeah, a lot of late night panic in the marketing departments right now.
Seriously,
Yes.
because picture this. You could have a perfect website, like brilliant SEO, a massive marketing budget, and frankly, the best product in your entire industry.
Right.
And yet, when your ideal customer opens ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity and they ask for a recommendation in your space, your business just doesn't even exist.
Just a ghost.
Exactly, a complete ghost. So today we're looking at a strategy document from Dero Digital, and they specialize in AI, SEO, and future-ready marketing.
Really fascinating stuff in there.
Yeah, and they explain this terrifying reality for modern brands, which is that the machines have essentially stopped scanning for keywords, and they've started calculating whether you actually, deserve to be seen.
Which is such a massive architectural shift in how the internet routes human curiosity. I mean, for over 20 years, search engines were basically massive filing cabinets.
Right, just huge indexes.
Exactly. They were scanners. If you wanted to be found, you just make sure your file folder had the right label printed on it, as many times as possible.
Just stuffing the keywords in there?
Right. But now we're moving toward answer engines. And these are evaluators. They don't just want to hand you a folder of links. They actually want to read the files, synthesize the best answer, and present it as a cohesive, definitive reality.
Okay, let's unpack this, because traditional SEO is sort of like trying to get your library card in the right index drawer by writing the title 50 times.
Yeah, just hoping someone stumbles on it.
But AI search, at least according to this Dear Digital framework, it's more like sitting down with a master librarian. Like, they won't recommend a book just because it has the right title on the cover. They have to actually trust the author.
That is a perfect analogy. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, we really have to understand what a concept like trust actually means to a large language model.
Because it's not just a buzzword anymore, right?
No, not at all. It's a mathematically calculated metric. When an AI generates a response, it's operating on these strict confidence intervals.
Okay, what does that look like in practice?
Well, it looks at an entity, so your brand, and it maps out its relationship to the topic being asked about. It's literally plotting points in a high-dimensional vector space.
Wow.
Yeah. So if the mathematical distance between your brand and the concept of, say, expertise in your field is too wide, your trust score just drops below the generation threshold.
So you just aren't pulled into the context window to form the answer at all.
Exactly. You simply don't make the cut.
That is a massive paradigm shift. I mean, you're saying we aren't just trying to rank on a list of 10 blue links anymore. We have to prove to a math model that we are the definitive answer. But if AI is looking for who deserves to be recommended, what immediately gets you disqualified? Because the Dero document highlights this one really devastating habit that we all built up during the old SEO era.
Oh, you mean publishing content for the algorithm instead of for human beings?
Yes, that exactly.
I mean, we spent 2 decades training writers to behave like machines.
We really did.
We told them, stuff these keywords, rewrite existing articles so you don't trip the plagiarism filters, hit an arbitrary word count, just to appease some search crawler.
Just churning out content for the sake of content.
Right. And now AI systems can actively detect that behavior. Yeah. They look at thin content, poorly rewritten articles, generic copy.
And they penalize it.
Instantly. They penalize lack of expertise. The mathematical model flags it as low-value noise rather than a helpful signal.
Okay, wait, hold on, because there's a massive irony here. I mean, everybody right now is using AI tools to write their website copy.
Oh, yeah. It's everywhere.
It's like the biggest productivity hack in the business world, right? Save time, let ChatGPT write the blog post.
But are you saying the AI search engines are literally rejecting their own writing style?
Yes.
The machines are panelizing machine-written content?
I know, it sounds nuts. But what's fascinating here is the underlying mechanism of how these models are trained. I mean, think about what a generic AI output actually is.
It's just predicting the next word.
Exactly. It's a statistical average of the data it was trained on. It is literally the regurgitated median of all human knowledge on that topic up to that point.
Right.
So when you use an AI to write a generic, 500-word blog post and you just slap it on your site, you are serving the answer engine a watered-down version of its own training data.
Oh, wow. You're offering zero net new value to the internet.
None. Zero. And if your website is just a mirror reflecting the AI's own generic training data back at it, it has absolutely no incentive to feature you as an expert.
I mean, why would it quote you when you're just parroting its own baseline assumptions? Exactly, it wouldn't. The AI model actually craves novelty. It needs human expertise to formulate a high-quality answer.
Like real-world experiences.
Real-world experiences, original insights, unique opinions, proprietary data. Those are the elements that expand its understanding of a topic.
So if you don't have that,
Your content lacks that human friction, that specific perspective that only comes from actually doing the work in the real world. The trust score plummets. You're categorized as a noise amplifier, not a signal generator.
so you have to provide original, deeply human-driven insights to even get on the board. You can't just be an echo.
Right.
But even if you do that, like let's say you write a brilliant original manifesto based on your 20 years of hands-on experience,
Okay.
and you publish it on your beautifully designed website. The Dero strategy points out that you could still be completely ignored by the AI.
Oh, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
the AI is inherently skeptical. It doesn't just take your word for it.
Right, and they call this the echo chamber problem, don't they? Weak digital authority.
Yeah. Weak digital authority. Because in the old days of search, you could dominate a niche entirely on your own domain. If your site was technically perfect, you won.
You just built a really good silo on your own URL.
Right. But an answer engine acts more like an investigative journalist. It reads that brilliant manifesto on your site, but then it essentially asks, okay, does anyone else in the world actually care about this?
Has anyone verified this claim?
Exactly.
Here's where it gets really interesting to me. It's like claiming you're the absolute best chef in town on your own restaurant's website,
Naturally.
but then the AI plays the role of the skeptical local. It looks around and says, well, no one on Yelp is talking about you. No food critics have reviewed you.
Right. There's no buzz.
0 locals on social media are mentioning your food. So are you really the best chef?
That's spot on. The AI is looking for off-site signals. It's aggressively crawling platforms where actual human discourse happens.
So we're talking about, like, what, Reddit?
Reddit threads, yeah, where enthusiasts are debating the nuances of a product. Quora answers, industry-specific blogs, LinkedIn thought leadership,
Digital PR mentions in the news.
all of that. The AI uses these external platforms to triangulate your authority. It cross-references your claims with the wider consensus.
It's basically the ultimate lie detector test for a brand. You can't just claim to be an expert in the vacuum anymore.
You really can't. And this raises an important question for you, the listener, to reflect on regarding your own digital footprint.
Yeah, are you just shouting into an echo chamber?
Right. Because if the AI system cross-references your claims and finds 0 conversations about your brand on Reddit or 0 citations from industry peers, your credibility calculation drops to near 0.
The model just assumes that if you were truly an authority, the broader internet ecosystem would be talking about it.
Exactly. It treats you like a ghost because, as far as the wider digital ecosystem is concerned, you are a ghost.
That is such a massive wake-up call for companies that rely purely on their own blog to generate all their traffic. Like, you have to
Yeah.
be an active participant in the wider conversation.
You do. But there's a catch.
There's always a catch.
Once you are part of that conversation and you have those off-site signals verifying your human expertise,
Yeah.
you hit the next major hurdle.
Which is?
You have to actually deliver your content in a way the machine can instantly parse. Because even the most trusted, validated human insight is useless to an AI if it takes too much computational effort to extract the meaning.
Right. Okay, I'm looking at this section in the Dero digital framework on content structure, and honestly, it feels like a massive paradox.
Also,
Well, we just spent all this time establishing that you have to be deeply, authentically human in your insights to avoid being penalized as, generic AI copy.
right, the human friction.
Yeah. But then to actually be read by the AI, we're supposed to package those insights in these rigid, hyperstructured formats. Short paragraphs, clear headings, dedicated FAQ sections. How do we balance this human soul with machine-readable formatting? It feels contradictory.
It is a delicate balancing act, I'll admit that. But it comes down to understanding how a large language model actually reads a page during a real-time retrieval process.
Okay, that's fast, right?
Unbelievably fast. When a user asks a complex question, the AI is a fraction of a second to pull relevant context. It does not read your article the way a human reads a novel.
It's not sitting back with a cup of coffee enjoying your prose.
No, not at all. It is mapping concepts. It is looking for semantic relevance.
Semantic relevance. Okay, let's double click on that, because that isn't just about dropping the right keywords in the right order anymore, is it?
Not at all. Semantic relevance is about structuring an argument so clearly that a machine parser can instantly map the relationship between entities.
What does that look like on a page?
So if you were explaining a complex process, the AI needs to see the main concept in a clear header, and then that needs to be followed immediately by a concise, direct definition, and then maybe supported by structured bullet points. You aren't stripping away the human insight. You're just removing the structural friction.
You are building a clean, highly organized vessel for your human expertise.
Exactly.
So you can still have your strong opinions, your unique industry hot takes, and your proprietary data. You just can't bury them in a massive, unformatted wall of text.
The AI is a brilliant synthesizer, but it's also incredibly impatient.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If it can't instantly map out the logical flow of your argument through clear headers and structured data, it will simply skip your page and pull the answer from a competitor.
Even if your competitor's insight is slightly less profound, just because it's easier to digest computationally.
Exactly. Which brings us to the operational reality.
Mm.
Because the Dero digital strategy doesn't just provide isolated tricks, it presents this holistic ecosystem to actually fix this.
Right, a daily action plan. So let's run through these 5 strategies to get noticed. Starting with number 1, which we touched on, publish expert-led content.
Right. You have to lead with your expertise, sharing the gritty details of a real case study or a controversial opinion that only an industry veteran would hold.
It establishes the human baseline. Okay, so strategy 2, build topic authority.
Because writing one brilliant piece isn't enough. The AI needs to see a pattern. So you surround that core piece of expertise with a cluster of connected articles.
So you're covering the whole niche.
All the nuances, the edge cases.
Yeah.
You build a web of knowledge on your site that signals, hey, this entity doesn't just know one fact, they understand the entire domain.
Which naturally feeds into strategy 3, earn brand mention.
Right, because once you build that deep topic cluster, other industry blogs and news sites are far more likely to link to you.
And that's tying the red strings to your pin on the detective's corkboard, proving you're real.
Exactly.
Okay, strategy 4 is a big one. Optimize for questions, answering the real conversational queries that users type into AI tools.
This is a huge shift in user behavior. When people use an AI answer engine, they don't type in broken caveman phrases like best marketing agency New York anymore.
Right, they talk to it like it's a person.
They ask, what are the most effective digital marketing strategies for a mid-sized SaaS company trying to lower acquisition cost without burning runway?
So specific.
Unprecedented specificity. So your content needs to directly address those complex, multi-layered scenarios.
And finally, strategy 5, update content frequently. Keep the ecosystem fresh.
Because the AI is constantly trying to synthesize the current reality, not the reality of 2022. If it has to choose, it heavily weights recent data.
So what does this all mean for the listener? I mean, to me, it actually sounds incredibly optimistic.
I think so too.
Because the internet is finally rewarding quality and authenticity again. The brands that win in AI search won't necessarily be the giant corporations with the massive budgets.
Right, the ones just churning out thousands of generic pages.
Exactly. They will be the clearest, most trusted, and most useful brands, which is a massive opportunity for startups, local businesses, and growing agencies.
It really is a leveling of the playing field. If you're a small team, but you have genuine expertise and you do the work to structure it well, you can punch way above your weight class.
You can outposition the giants. And if you build this authority early, AI can become your biggest traffic source over the coming years.
But before we wrap up, we should really consider where this is all heading next.
Okay, lay on me.
Well, we touched on optimizing for real conversational queries. But as these AI models evolve from simple search tools into continuous, personalized digital companions,
Yeah.
their context windows are going to expand to include the user's long-term preferences, their tone, and their personal worldview.
Oh, wow. So the AI is going to know if the person asking the question is like a highly technical engineer who just wants the raw data versus a creative professional who wants a more narrative-driven answer.
Exactly. Which means the future of AI visibility might go beyond just proving your topic authority or your semantic relevance.
Wait, what happens when an AI learns to recommend your brand, not just because of your topic authority, but because your brand's unique personality perfectly matches the worldview of the user?
That's the question. Will we eventually have to optimize for emotional resonance?
Are we going to have to prove to the machine that we share the same values as the person on the other side of the screen? That is a wild concept to chew on until our next deep dive.
It really is.
But remember where we started today. The frustration of typing your industry into an AI and finding out your brand is a ghost.
You don't have to be a ghost anymore.
No, you don't. By leaning into real, lived expertise, getting out of your own echo chamber, and structuring your human insights so the machine can actually map them out, you can step out of the shadows. You can become the clear, vivid answer that the AI and your next customer is searching for.